So in this video, I'm going to be explaining the safe math library. So safe math library is a library that checks for overflows and underflows, and you probably have heard of overflows and underflows. Overflows are when the maximum number of a Ewing type variable is exceeded, then it wraps to zero. And underflow is when the minimum number of a Ewing type variable is decreased beyond zero. It wraps to the maximum number of the variable. So you can see here we have a function multiply, which takes in two parameters, a and b. So it's an internal pure, returns a c. So it returns the result, which is the c. So the product of a and b is going to be returned in c. So if a is equals to 0, return 0. That means if we have 0 multiplied by any number, automatically it's 0. So we don't need to worry about that. So that is what this if statement is saying. If a if the value of a, for example, if we have if a is 0, if we have 0 here, 0 multiplied by any number, 10, 20, we are going to return 0. Then return the result, c equals to a multiplied by b. Then it's going to this asserts here checks c divided by a must be equal to b. So the product of a and b, which is c, if you divide it by a, should give us b. So that really makes sense. If we let's say we're doing 10. So we're doing 10 multiplied by 5. So that will give us 50, right? So this is a. This is a. So this is a. This is b. And this is c. So this asserts saying c divided by a must be equals to b. So if we take 50, which is c, then divide it by a, which is 10, it should give us 5, which is b. If it doesn't give us this number, then there's something wrong with the multiplication. That means there's an overflow or there's an underflow. Then it's going to revert. This function is not going to work. It's going to try an error. Then if this condition was satisfied, was okay, then we are going to return c. So we are going to move over to division. So division don't really have much. Return a divided by b. There is not much of a hustle in division. So we'll see subtraction. So we do some function subtraction. It takes in a, b, internal pure, then returns u in 256. So we say here that assert b must be less than or equals to a. So this b must be less than a. B must be less than or equals to a, because let's say we have 10. Let's okay, we have 10, then we have 10, then we have 5. So we do 10 minus 5. So 10 is going to be our a, 5 is going to be our b. You can see they said in this asserts b, which is 5, must be less than 10. If not, the subtraction is going to give us a negative number, and that is not what we want. So if 5 is greater than 10, you throw an error. But if 5, which is b, is less than or equals to a, it will work perfectly. So the number, it simply says that a must always be bigger than b. 10, 5, 20, 11, 55, and so on and so forth. But anytime you put a smaller number at A and a bigger number at B is going to throw an error. So that's what the assert is simply saying. So then we return the A minus B. Yeah. So we go over to addition, which is the last. So we do a function addition, then it takes in A, B, internal pure, and C. So C equals to A plus B. So assert C must be greater than or equals to A. So let me show you what that says. So let's say let's do sorry, let's do so let's do 10 plus 5 equals to 15, right? So 10 is going to be A, 5 is going to be B, and 15 is going to be C. So you said C must be greater than or equals to A. So 15 must be greater than A always in your addition, because obviously your sum is always going to be greater than both your A and B. So if you are getting a value less than C, if our C is less than 10 or 5, there must be a problem. Is either there's an overflow or there's an underflow. So your C, your 15, the sum of your both number must be greater than both A and B. So if it is not greater than A or B, if it's not greater than A because it's A that they used, please fail this function. That's what this assert is saying. Please fail this function. And if the test pass, then we are going to return C. So I think that's all for that. So this is simply all you need to know about your SafeMath library. So it's simply easy to understand. We use it in our ERC20 contract, bulky contracts. You use it in any type of contract you want to use it for, so far as you have integers adding themselves. As far as you have arithmetic operations going on, you need to use your SafeMath library. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.